I do want to focus today on elements that affect the climate crisis and affordability by focusing on what the Green Party will do for rural and remote communities. I just finished, as Laura will remember, we did a 34 city and town tour of every province in Canada and the Northwest Territories from February of this year, wrapping up midsummer. And we visited communities here in New Brunswick. We visited communities, as I said, in every province and territory, and one territory. What we heard was remarkably similar. And we also came upon what is a national crisis, but which tends to only be identified as a local concern. So when we were in rural British Columbia, or not even rural, Prince George, Kamloops, we heard how devastating it was to lose Greyhound service, but everyone thought it was local. And we were in Saskatchewan, and everyone was telling us, oh, we've lost our bus service, and everyone thinks it's local. And in Atlantic Canada, we've lost bus service. At the same time, over a period of decades, via rail service has been significantly reduced. Particularly if you consider commercial banks. Their bank branches are being withdrawn. A lot of services we used to consider were to be taken for granted. Daily postal service to our doors, withdrawn. So we are also putting forward, in the aid of making sure that rural and remote communities have the services we need, expanding what Canada Post offers. Every Canada Post office, where we'd originally planned to hold today's press conference, every Canada Post office is an outreach of the federal government to every community. To make Canada Post sustainable financially, we need to expand services. We need to look at postal banking. The commercial banks can't get into local communities anymore, apparently, to give people the banking services they need face to face with someone who knows their needs. The postal banking system can provide in the post offices broadband for communities where people don't own a computer at home and need that service, can provide a spot for a locus for emergency supports when we face extreme weather events. I'm disappointed in what the Liberals announced today. It clearly shows that they're hearing the voices of our own children on the streets, but they're not serious. A commitment to get to carbon neutrality by 2050 is good, but they're putting a promise out there for 30 years from now. I need to know what they're going to do in 2 years, in 18 months. I need to know what they're going to do by 2025, because their current target, and I want to be very clear about this, the current target that the Liberals are holding to makes it impossible for them to keep this new promise. You can't set a goal at 2050 of carbon neutrality and only be 30% below 2005 levels by 2030, which is their current target. It's the Stephen Harper target. They have yet to put a plan in place to hit that target. Is it preferable to Maxime Bernier? Oh yes. Is it preferable to what Andrew Scheer has offered? You bet. But it's not anywhere near what is required. And that's why people, if you want green policies, don't be misled by greenwashing. You have to vote green if you want a green policy.
And speaking of